Hello, how you doing? Yes, so today we're going to be continuing the modern hatchback build in preparation for the next BMP session, which is in December. So probably after the first week of December. So yeah, let me handle some things, then we can get started. Oh, hi Bones, how you doing? Yeah, I assume you're at work again. Uh, so yeah, anyways, so last session we mostly focused on the rear, and so this was a lot of the work was going into redesigning the light structure. So adding in a new structure, daytime running light, adding new structure for the indicator and reverse lights while keeping the general shape of the brake light area. But I think this might need some changing because this is looking a little awkward and some places are really like don't really have are really empty. So I think this will need to be revised eventually. But the main thing I think is we're gonna try and fix this disaster of interior because interior modeling techniques in this game, quote unquote game, have changed uh, quite drastically over the last few years. So we're going to be expecting a lot of changes, especially in pillar construction, wall and fixture design. A lot of these fixtures back in 2022, um, the only good interior fixtures were from the 80s pack. So a lot of the interiors from that time were really only suitable for 80s and 90s cars. So if you're trying to adapt them to like a more modern car, things would get pretty awkward. But now, so now we have modern interior parts and parts for older cars. So this is there's a so let me rush. Let me try and search through this. But so for example, this would be from an older car, older than a 1980s car. This might be closer to 1970s, while this could theoretically be from like a 2000s or 2010s car, or even newer than that. So there's modern stuff, and then you see these styles. These are going to be particularly important. And then along with this, so yeah, a lot of new packs for modern parts. And then it's trying to refer to the original 80s interior pack. And they go ahead and try to find that. Nope, that's not it. It's more of 2000s. Um, no, this is a. Let me check. Came from this pack, but I forgot what this pack is actually called. Uh, yeah. Let me look. This is probably gonna take a while, and yeah, the organization for a lot of these mods is kind of quite haphazard. So it's sometimes quite a bit. Oh, there it is. This is called the modular 80s interior, and this was basically the first really like actually good interior mod. So you have all these really cool pieces that are actually modeled after actual cars from that era. So I'm sure if you're really into them, you would be able to recognize like what type of stereo or car sound system these are from, and then you might be able to identify what the cars they came in. The dashes are a little easier, but still, oh, there's some new ones, which is nice. But they're definitely for like people who are really into these kinds of stuff. Other and not just like the really iconic ones, but like the shit boxes and basic economy cars of that era, along with like the normal family sedans from that era. And if you're really into those, I'm sure you've also very much heard of Festival of the Unexceptional, which focuses on these normal cars, which are once really common, but now actually pretty rare because they've been pretty unloved, so no one really cared about them after a certain point of time. And so, which is why a lot of like the rarest cars will be like economy cars that once production economy cars because they all just disappeared over time. So yeah, first I think first order is we're gonna revise the center console. So while this fundamental structure, I think it's alright for like a 2020 car, but I think a lot of these fixtures need to be swapped out. So what I'll do, so I think last time there's a mod, and this is actually really nice. So there's this shifter, which this automatic shifter. So we're gonna be using that. So we're gonna put it, snap it to center, and then kind of like arrange some bits. Now I think when I put it there, I think I put it here somewhere. And okay, this could cause some issues because it's gonna interfere with the spacing here. So I'm gonna push this back some bit. I also don't want to use this fixture actually. Right, and this should probably be slightly bigger. Yeah, I can see a lot of times like when you're doing really complicated stuff like this, and you're having to work with these constraints of parts placements and prefab fixtures. Um, you're gonna have to deal with like how you're gonna adapt using. This is kind of one of the main reasons I kind of want to learn Blender. Is stuff like this. It it's just we just want that better flexibility. So trying to find something that's like either like a drive mode thing or perhaps additional infotainment control. I think this could work. Cardinal lock 3. Then I'll do 45. Oh, oh, okay then. Okay. Also, yeah, another issue that so you have to deal with is if you do like the rotation based on the current location, it tends to vary by fixture because sometimes it'll actually do 90 degrees if you do 90 degrees. But on a lot of fixtures, the 90 degrees in the actual rotation is actually corresponding to a 45 degree in this rotation specifications. And as with this fixture, it's actually even worse. It's 90 is actually 180. So you divide everything by 2, which is honestly quite incredible. So I think I'll rotate this. So I'm thinking this could be the drive mode or something. I don't know. I'll leave that interpretation up to you. I'm kind of too lazy to think. Well, maybe I'll think of this later. This is either going to be like a drive mode or it's going to be additional infotainment controls. But I'm thinking I would probably prefer this to be a drive mode because I think that might be more intuitive from my experience. So I know some brands are really into using this as the infotainment controls. So yeah, it can vary. So a lot of these times when you do like that sort of interior design, you're really doing a lot of estimation. So you're just like, okay, this looks about right, but we haven't explicitly defined what their functions are. So I think I want to make this a bit glossier. Maybe like this, maybe. Actually, that actually looks bad. No, I don't want to do that. It might, and also functional wise, I think it's also pretty bad because it'll get stained really often. But I think this does need to be more smoother. Um, I don't know. I don't know what material this is actually, but it is far too rough, and I want this to be actual kind of shine to it. So it could have switched to a leather material because it kind of reminds me of that. But I think that's just that some of the default textures are kind of a little awkward. Glossy. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot of changing. I don't mind having to change a lot of these materials because that's a sign that you get a lot of customization, which is really good for designs like this. So what you can do is you can do some weird trickery where you can hide certain parts if you really want one part of it, but you don't like the fact that it's attached to a complete assembly, and there isn't like a way around it, then you could get away by just making one part, the undesired part, invisible. So this leather is kind of weird. Oh, right. I think at that point I was actually using that material. So I think I'll go ahead and use the material too. What's this? I'll probably make that. What was this thing here? Oh, it's deal with the incontinuities. Let me check if that can actually be replaced. I know we have this thing now, which is really nice. But it's definitely more suitable to what I had originally in mind. So I might actually opt to replace this whole 3 assemblies with this. And hopefully get some better air vents in the process, because, yeah, really bad. I'm also not a particularly big fan of this, but I think this was necessary due to I think how I was building dashes at the time. So I'm gonna see if I can slim this down, because I really do want to slim this down. But the problem is if I do that, you get gaps like this, which is really annoying. Actually, no. I think that's just inherent to this issue, so I might not want to deal with it anyways. But I could push something behind it to try and fix it. But I think that has caused issues with stuff leaking from the dashboard essentially. So yeah, a lot of it's just a really weird balancing game. It it's really painful. But that's just the reality, I think. Let's see. I don't know, 345 hopefully. Oh, nope. Okay, this is one of those again. Is it a sensitivity? That could be a reason. Oh, incredible. Uh, seriously? Okay, this is gonna be a little awkward, isn't it? Am I doing this right? One. Okay, there we go. I think that's better. Oh, I don't even know how okay, anyways. Please don't. So this is, okay, so I think, okay, safely replace these. And then probably would want to push this down. But, all right, this is gonna be in a way. This could rise up a little too high, which could end up obstructing the view. Look, I don't know. I think this was always going to be an issue anyway, so it might not be worth trying to deal with it, theoretically speaking. But I think I'm going to get rid of this. Or maybe I shouldn't actually. I think I might shrink this slightly. I do want to keep the proportioning. So I think I'll have two touch screens with some physical controls on the bottom. And this could be like a display of sorts. I don't like the color of this actually. I'll have to find a way around this. Alternatively, actually, this could work, is I'll keep this green, but I'll get rid of this. Actually, no, let's see. That's an alternative though. If I could keep this green and discard the gauge cluster. Let's see. So yeah, I'm actually not sure what to feel about this actually. Yeah, this is too low, or too short rather. So I gotta push it up. But I also don't quite like it like that either. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go ahead and discard this part. So it's gotta find it clear. And then use the screen and then merge it with the existing screen. I think I might deal with this in like a facelift or a more modern screen would be appropriate. But it's not working in this case. So I'm gonna save that for a facelift of sorts. And this screen is just gonna go directly here. And I'm hoping that plays nicely with the navigation system. Uh, then I should make this glossy because it is an actual screen. There we go. Actually, what do I make this then? Okay. Then I gotta push this up a bit. Alright. Yes, actually, you know what I could afford to do? I think I could actually afford to push these closer. Because I think there's probably enough. Why is this here actually? I don't want it. Oh, right, that's the glass. Okay, I kind of forgot that was a thing I was trying to do back then. I think at that time, it was really obvious that it wasn't like it was just exposed, so I just used a glass material to try and just hide it behind a pane of glass so it would look have some reflections going into it. What? Alright, I think that works. Yeah, sure. It's kind of awkward, but not much I could do at this point. Alright. Alright. Have Oh no, I can't quite. Okay then. Well, that's awkward. But I think maybe I can push this piece, maybe? Please? There you go. I think I gotta push this bezel down a bit. So you're gonna go ahead and push this forward. Oh no, I can't. Oh, alright. Oh, this gotta. Oh, this is cutting into the gauge. Oh, right. Forgot about that. Alright, I think that's. Oh. Hmm. Okay, this is gonna be pretty awkward, actually. I'm gonna get rid of this piece, actually. Okay, I guess, okay, so this upper dash, I'll have to leave that alone for the time being. And then, so I think I'll work on the lower part. And this, I don't actually really like this part. So what I'll do is, I'll source some more modern fixtures, and then we can work with that. I'll write the screen. Okay, so first I'll source the climate control panel. I think it was somewhere here. There it is. 10, so this could be a little old, but could work well enough. Yeah, I think I'll go with the 10s, and then I'll go, I think I'll go with buttons, and I'll put another screen for the actual climate control. I think that'll be okay. Cardinal fixture, and then 3D it, and I gotta rotate it, so try 90 first. Okay. If I really do like diodes for climate controls, I'm thinking it might work, this button system might work better for in such a compact space. I gotta expand this downward. Oh, can't do that actually. No. Also, no, I'm not actually quite liking this. Yeah, I'll rotate. So I'll size this to the panel actually. Actually, because it's gotta actually accommodate a screen. So it doesn't have to be as large of a screen. And it also should have preset buttons for the radio. Yeah, it's actually gonna be kind of difficult. 90. Oh, yeah, sure. I think I'm switched to the knob system anyways. That I'll make a screen because gotta have the illumination for the shift indicator. This is still a little awkward though. I'm not entirely sure on how to deal with that. Yeah, it's because you can tell it's kind of just floating. Not sure if I like that. I thought there was some indent that I could use, but doesn't look like it. I think so. Upper Dash and Zeracons we're gonna leave alone at the time being. So probably gonna focus on the door cards. And back then, these were the really door cards that you really have. But now that we have a lot more options now. But not sure how feasible it would be to swap out all of these door panels. But we could at least get some modern interior switch gear. Uh, yeah, yeah, we can get some modern stuff. Wow, alright. So yeah, sure, let's go ahead. And that'll also serve as the lock button. Um, 3090. Yeah, this should be pushed forward, I think. But I forgot this is kind of going to be in the way. Right, so maybe I could get away with just hiding it a bit. So I was hoping maybe if I can get some molding that extends from this trim piece and then go all the way down. Oh, this program's kind of pushed down too. I think I should pushing everything up, thinking about it. Or at least choose surround. That'll be a grab handle. This is right. No, not quite. Door release 5, door release 4, door release surround. No, not quite. I want something that. Okay, there's some beveling. Okay, so this bevel could work as the base for this. So pushing this down a bit. But I want some molding so I can kind of push this, and then I can also kind of apply that to the next one. So I was hoping so. There should be a piece that kicks upward that maybe could link up with the shape. I'm not sure how feasible that is actually. Nope, won't work. Right, okay, it's gonna be awkward trying to merge this into there. Alrighty. Focus on the bevel behind and in front and behind the door surround, and I think I can let this trim piece cover the rest up. The beveling. There's not much we can do about that, I fear. Can I just get this? Oh, I can't just get the centerpiece. Alright. Okay. So I'll get rid of everything else in this fixture. Now just merge the center piece because I theoretically don't need the rest. Probably should have got a bevel piece. Alright, think okay, so this I'll have to look into this bottom corner later, but I think this is okay-ish, I suppose. And I just gotta get this for the rear. Oh, right, gotta push this up more. So yeah, I'm gonna copy the front layout to the rear. Also, I probably should copy from this side because sometimes if you kind of like copy from this side, like the other side, the side opposite the one you originally placed it in, it might actually flip the movement. So you'd have to, for example, if I move the piece left, you have to use the right button, which is always kind of an issue. So yeah, something, one of the more painful aspects of this. I'm gonna shove this back more. Wait, no, I probably shouldn't. Actually, but I guess I have already, Amos. So push that, and then push this. Actually, I'm gonna change the scaling on this a bit. And push this more into the door. Alright. Nope. Alright. So that could work at the moment. And then I'll have to push this piece up again because I want to extend this part of, I suppose, the doors, not the armrest, but I think it would be better to put it in front of the grab handle than the rear where the arm should be resting on. Uh, Thinking about it, they should also get lock buttons too, so I'm gonna have to transfer this thing again. What? How do I rotate it like that anyways? Alright, so I guess that's the basic layout. Hopefully that didn't mirror over. Oh, gotta fix this. Oh, can I? Maybe I shouldn't. I probably should extend this a little more so it covers that area. Oh, right. Okay. So I think that was the main goal of this session. I think we've done that. So I'm kind of not necessarily in mood to go any further on this. And I would maybe I'll save this for tomorrow or something. Tomorrow I'm gonna see because tomorrow I might be going out to obtain one of the foldable sim rigs. So it's possible that tomorrow or actually technically tonight I might end up screwing around with that. Um, so yeah, that'll be pretty interesting because I really I really been wanting to get a mount for my wheel for quite a while because when I first got the wheel, I didn't realize that you would actually need a mount because it didn't fit my desk, and I realized I don't actually feel like sliding around office here. So I'm gonna get one of the. I've been eyeing a foldable one with one of the integrated chairs or seats rather. So I'll be trying to get that tomorrow. So yeah, thank you for everyone who joined or came here. I hope you enjoyed the session. Uh, and I think we've already got a raid target. Oh yeah, speaking about raid procedures, so what I've been thinking of doing is if before raiding I see someone in there, I'll probably play one of these shoutout clips. But then I probably would want to get permission first because I guess some people don't like that, which is fair. Um, I'd have to get the details out later. I've also have more formalized procedures for incoming raids. That would be easier because I can kind of ask people on the spot. But yeah, I think that's our goal. Uh, kind of worn out today. Been worn out today. Been doing a pretty big project, but it was successful, so that's why I'm doing this session. Save. So yeah, let's do a raid target. Kind of someone newer, or rather newer in the sense of been watching someone recently, but I've been enjoying it very much. So this one, yeah, okay. I think you're okay. Let me deal with something for a moment, and then I'll be back. Alright, should be back. So I think we're ready to raid. So, uh, excuse me. Let me open it for a moment, and then I'll ready it up. Freezing as always. And using two applications and over memory leaks, I suppose. There we go. Mutes. Oh,